Imagine you're standing on the summit of the pyramid of Kukulkan. The air is thick with the scent of copal incense and the sounds of Chichen Itza below. You watch the farmers in their fields, the merchants in the market, all giving thanks to Kukulkan for the sun on their crops and the winds that promise rain. They see the feathered serpent as the giver of life, the god who brought them the arts of civilization. They see order, but from up here, you see something more. You've spent a lifetime mastering the sacred calendars and reading the stars. You have felt the veil between worlds grow thin during bloodletting rituals. You and the other priests understand the profound duality of your god. You know the line between a life-giving breeze and a world-ending hurricane is terrifyingly thin. You know the same deity who gifted your people with maize could also command cataclysmic storms. The people below worship Kukulkan. You, on the other hand, are tasked with the immense, unending burden of keeping the cosmos in balance. This isn't just faith. It's a constant, desperate negotiation with chaos. And it's a battle you can never be sure you're winning. The god of life and light. Kukulkan, the people new to the average Maya. Kukulkan was a figure of profound benevolence. He wasn't just a god to be worshipped. He was the foundation of their world. The stories, prayers, and grand ceremonies all painted a picture of a divine benefactor who brought light and order. His name in the Yucatec Mayan tongue, Kukulkan, literally means feathered serpent. This name was a powerful cosmological statement. The feathers of the brilliant Quetzal bird represented the heavens, the sky, and the sacred breath of life. The serpent represented the earth, water, and the underworld. As snakes could move between cracks in the earth scene as portals to the underworld Xibalba. In Kukulkan, these two forces were unified. He was the bridge between the sky and the earth, a conduit for divine energy. This concept of duality and balance was at the very core of the Maya worldview, which saw the cosmos as a delicate interplay of opposing yet complementary forces. Day and night, life and death, creation and destruction. Kukulkan was the ultimate expression of this harmony. The people experienced his benevolence in very real ways. He was the god of the wind and the rain, essential in a society dependent on agriculture. The gentle breezes and life-giving showers that nourished the corn were seen as his direct gifts, but his importance went even further. Myths recorded in sacred books like the Pupova, which tells the story of the Keish Maya equivalent. Yumit spoke of creator gods fashioning humanity from maize. This story is deeply symbolic, tying the very existence of the Maya to their most sacred crop. Moreover, legends told of a great leader named Kukulkan, who arrived from the west, teaching the Maya the arts of civilization, writing, mathematics, medicine, and most importantly, the calendar. This intricate system for tracking time was the bedrock of their society, a way to understand the cosmic cycles and anchor their lives in the universe's grand story. This perception was literally carved in stone. Cities like Chichen Itza built magnificent temples in his honor. The Pyramid of Kukulkan is a living calendar. Each of its 4 stairways has 91 steps. With the top platform, the total is 365. One for each day of the solar year. Twice, a year on the spring and autumn equinoxes. A play of light and shadow creates the illusion of a massive serpent undulating down the pyramid-esque staircase, joining a stone serpent head at the base. For the thousands gathered below, this was a miracle. Kukulkan himself, descending to bless the earth. This was the Kukulkan they knew and loved. Protector and the source of all that was good and stable. They had no reason to fear him, the god of cosmic power. The priest's burden from your sacred vantage point, the orderly world of the common Maya, felt like a fragile illusion. While they saw harmony in the serpent's shadow, you saw a chilling reminder of a cosmic power you were tasked to manage. Your deep, secret knowledge came from ancient codices, astronomical observation, and terrifying rituals. You understood Kukulkan in a way your people never could. You understood the other side of his power. The potential for chaos. The very symbols they celebrated held a darker meaning for you. The serpent, for them, was a symbol of renewal. For you, it was also a chthonic symbol, Snakes emerged from caves and sacred wells, or cenotes, which you knew were portals to Shabbat. The Mayan underworld, a place literally named the Place of Fright. Kukulkan's ability to traverse these realms made him a figure of profound awe and dread. He was a gatekeeper, and his power represented the terrifying possibility that the forces of the underworld could spill into the mortal realm. This wasn't just a theory. You studied the records and knew Kukulkan's power over the elements was unlimited to gentle rains. As a god of the wind, his power could be whipped into a cataclysmic storm. While the storm god was a distinct deity, his destructive power was a reminder of what the wind could become. A sudden hurricane that flattened the mazed fields wasn't a random act of nature. To a priest, it was a sign of cosmic imbalance, a grim warning. Your understanding of cosmology was far deeper than the average citizens. They saw a stable cosmos. You saw a precarious balance that had to be actively maintained through human action. The creation stories you studied weren't just triumphant tales. They were warnings. They told of previous worlds that the gods had destroyed for their failures. The current age of humanity was not guaranteed to last forever. It existed only as long as the cosmic balance was held. This is where your knowledge became a crushing personal responsibility. The universe was seen as a great machine that required nourishment to continue its cycles. That nourishment was sacred energy, and its most potent source was human life and blood. The survival of the world depended on humanity holding up its end of a grim, cosmic pact. As the god who symbolized the cycles of time, Kukulkan's satisfaction was paramount. A mistake in a ritual or a misread omen could be seen as a breach of the pact, with unthinkable consequences. Drought, famine, and ultimately, the end of the world. The Equinox Serpent wasn't just a blessing. It was a cosmic audit. The awe the crowd felt was born from wonder. The awe you felt was laced with anxiety, hoping your rituals had been sufficient to maintain order. This burden was also political. The authority of the priestly class and the king was built on this premise. You were the intermediaries who could read the cosmos and direct the rituals to keep disaster at bay. If you fled, if the rains didn't come, or a storm destroyed the harvest, it was a priestly failure, a sign you had lost the favor of the gods. You feared not just the cosmic chaos Kukulkan's power could represent, but the societal chaos that would follow if your people lost faith in your ability to placate him. The desperate bargain. Rituals as cosmic maintenance. Faced with this immense responsibility, a priest's life was one of constant, desperate action. The elaborate rituals of Maya society weren't just acts of worship. They were a form of spiritual engineering, a high-stakes maintenance program designed to appease the powerful forces of the cosmos. It was a continuous series of payments made to keep destruction at bay. The calendar was your operating manual for the universe. You mastered its intricate gears. The 260-day Soken 4 sacred rituals, and the 365-day Hob for the agricultural cycle. Performing the right ritual on the right day wasn't just tradition. It was cosmic necessity. Your life was a relentless exercise in precision. Tracking Venus, the sun, and the moon. Knowing they were the hands-on, a cosmic clock telling you when and how to negotiate with the gods. Grand temples like the one at Chichen Itza were your primary laboratories for this cosmic negotiation. They were immense, astronomical instruments, precisely aligned to capture celestial light at key moments, creating sacred windows when the veil between worlds was thin. But the most critical part of this bargain involved offerings. The gods were sustained by life force, and the most potent offering was blood. Bloodletting was an essential ritual. You and the king would pierce your own bodies with obsidian blades or stingray spines to offer your life essence. The pain and trance-like state were believed to conjure a vision serpent, a gateway to the spirit realm through which you could communicate with gods and ancestors. When omens were dire, a greater payment was required. Human sacrifice, though perhaps less frequent than among the Aztecs, was the ultimate offering in your ritual toolkit. It wasn't seen as murder, but as a desperate transfer of the most sacred energy possible to reset the cosmic balance and placate the gods. Offerings of treasures and human lives into the sacred cenote at Chichen Itza were direct payments to the deities in their underworld aspect. Every one of these acts reinforced your unique and perilous position. You bore the pain of bloodletting and shouldered the grim responsibility of sacrifice. Your sacred duty was also the source of your political power. You advised the king on everything from war to marriage, but this power made you the ultimate scapegoat. If your ritual succeeded, you were revered. If they failed, blame fell on you. Your life and the stability of Maya civilization rested on a knife's edge, desperate, ongoing bargaining with the powerful forces, embodied by a god who could give life with one breath and bring ruin with the next. The eternal watch, the sun sinks below the horizon, and the great serpent's shadow dissolves into the stone. The crowds disperse, their faith renewed, secure in the belief that their benevolent God has blessed them. They will sleep peacefully, but you will not. For you, the work is never done. The burden of knowledge is eternal. You are a guardian, a keeper of the precarious balance between order and chaos, creation and destruction. Maya civilization, with all its splendor, wasn't built on serene faith alone. It was built on a bedrock of managed anxiety. The priests of the Maya weren't just followers. They were frontline managers in a perpetual, silent struggle with the unpredictable forces of the universe. Kukulkan, the feathered serpent, was both the source of their existence and a symbol of the immense power they sought to understand and appease. His dual nature was a central tenet of their cosmology. The life-giving rain and the destructive storm were two sides of the same divine coin. Their rituals, sacrifices, and obsessive mastery of time were not just expressions of devotion. They were calculated attempts to negotiate with a power that could never be truly controlled. The fear wasn't of a malevolent god, but of the failure to maintain balance in a chaotic universe. This profound anxiety wasn't a weakness. It may have been the very engine of their greatest achievements. What do you think? Was the priest's burden a literal belief in a temperamental god, or a sophisticated metaphor for humanity's relationship with the awesome, unpredictable power of nature itself? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the heart of the Mayan world. If you enjoyed this exploration, please give this video a like and subscribe for more stories from our past. Your support allows us to continue our work. Until next time, keep questioning what you think you know about history.